This video is brought to you by DistroKid.
You need to have a black V-neck, but I got the deep one to show my chesticles. Welcome back to the channel. I'm RJ Ronquillo. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. On this channel, I do guitar lessons, gear demos, and other cool music-related stuff. So if you're into that kind of stuff, please consider subscribing. So the YouTube gods have blessed us with more found footage of my old gigs. Deep within the annals of old gig footage, we found some choice cuts. But before we get into it, I want to say thanks to DistroKid for sponsoring this video. If you're a musician, band, or artist, it's never been easier to get your music out into the world than right now, and DistroKid makes it even easier for you. They'll distribute your music to all the outlets like Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Pandora, and you keep 100% of your royalties. They can even split it up for you if you're in a band or have co-writers. You can even distribute cover songs. DistroKid will take care of all that legal copyright and licensing stuff. And they'll do all of this starting at just $19.99 a year. So for 20 bucks, you can upload unlimited music, and that's what makes this a great deal. And even better, they gave me a promo link to pass on to you. 7% off your first year. Just click the link down in the description. Speaking of music distribution, I found the old album of my high school band Third Stone laying around, and this is how I used to distribute it, via cassette. That I had to print the labels myself, stick them on. They're not even straight, they're all crooked. The cover I printed out on a fax machine phone combo, and all of the liner notes are handwritten by me. Can you see this? This is how we used to have to distribute our music. I would sell this out of the locker, among other things. I don't have a cassette player, so I can't listen to this. And without further ado, some more old gigs. Okay, so this clip is a band called Mania that I did one gig with in Spain. Deke Dickerson, who's a very famous guitar player in the rockabilly community, he asked me to do this gig. Mel Bergman on the bass, Crazy Joe Trishler on the drums, who's also a great guitar player. But this is basically a Ventures tribute act that they do. And I was just filling in, and we played a gig in Benidorm, Spain. It was like a garage rock festival, or they had like rockabilly, they had punk rock, it was crazy. And we even had a dancer. But I got to play this really cool Mosrite copy that was amazing. It felt like the vintage stuff. Deke was playing a vintage Mosrite guitar, as well as Mel was playing a Mosrite bass. And this is Pipeline, classic surf tune that the Ventures also covered. But it was cool because this gig, I never realized how many fans of instrumental surf guitar there was. If I could show you the crowd was going crazy. It was like a punk rock concert. So I had to learn like a bunch of Ventures tunes that I never learned before, but it was fun to get into all that music and their catalog and learn the songs.
Judith Hill.
All right, so this was a Judith Hill gig that I did back in, I can't remember, maybe 2010, 2011. There I am. Incidentally, some of this footage was shown in the movie 20 Feet from Stardom, which won an Oscar, actually. So I can say that I was in an Oscar-winning film. The whole band, big band, I can't remember how many people were in it, but we're all wearing the same uniform, which was like a camouflage beret thing, kind of really military looking. And we had coordinated dance moves. We had choreography. I'm playing a PRS, my PRS single cut that I use all the time, through the house amp at the Key Club, which was an Ibanez half stack. But this was a cool tune, really funky. Prior to this, I did a lot of gigs with Judith, and obviously after this, if you've seen my latest tour vlogs from last year when we went to Europe, I'm still playing with her now and then, so we're still friends, and great artist to play with, great singer. That was a fun gig. Okay, so this was a gig that I did in 2010. It was a tour that I did with a Latin singer named Chayanne. This is from Madrid, so this must have been at the arena in Madrid. And I'm playing a PRS Gold Top DGT David Grissom model that I don't have anymore. I sold it. And me and the other guitar player, Pete Parente, who I believe still plays with Chayanne. Good friend of mine from college, actually. There's me tuning. I was wearing, this was back in the 2010 era, so I was wearing like a deep V-neck, which I guess, I don't own one of those anymore, but that was like all I wore all the time. That's like the standard issue backup band wardrobe. You need to have a black V-neck. But I got the deep one. This was a great tour. Most of 2010 I was on the road with Chayanne. We traveled across America, Spain, Latin America, South America. It was fun. Madrid, I actually proposed to my wife in Madrid. A couple days before this concert, I was engaged. It was funny, I had left South Florida to get away from Latin gigs, moved to LA, and I still got called to do the Latin stuff from Miami, so I couldn't get away from it. Which is fine, because I enjoyed doing it, I enjoyed touring. Great band, great people to hang out with. Still friends with all of them on Facebook. Okay, next. Okay, so this was another Latin singer that I played with while I was living in LA. This is a singer named Cristian Castro, who's known for his ballads, really powerful voice. It kind of reminds me of like the Latin equivalent of Steve Perry from Journey. But as you can see, this is the acoustic section, and I had to learn a bunch of songs like last minute for this show or this tour or whatever, and I had cheat sheets laying around on my pedal board, and you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a white piece of paper taped to the guitar, and I'm actually reading a chart that I taped on there because I couldn't memorize it in time. But you know, in a pinch, that's what you gotta do. So as long as there was light hitting me, I was fine, but sometimes they would black out the stage and I couldn't see. I don't even think, that wasn't even my guitar, that was a Taylor acoustic, and that was a borrowed guitar. This was in Panama, 2011. Feel the power of this ballad. Next. All right, so this was the first Latin artist that I played with. Her name was Soraya, Colombian singer-songwriter. She also did stuff in English, but this was like, God, I want to say this was like 2003 or 4. But this was like my first big Latin touring gig, and this was at in Chile, in Santiago, Chile. There's a big festival called Viña del Mar, and we played this huge amphitheater arena, and I think this was probably like the biggest gig I had done at this point. I remember I played my Reverend Slingshot plastic guitar. That was like my main touring guitar for the longest time. And all the amps were backlined, and I got to pick which one I wanted to use. And I picked a white Marshall Bluesbreaker. There I am. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but the crowd was huge. Yeah, I played with Soraya for a couple years. Unfortunately, she succumbed to breast cancer in 2006, and she's no longer with us. But she really was one of the first major Latin artists that I played with. I think my first arena gigs that I ever did were with her. My first big stadium festival gigs were with her. So I definitely learned a lot playing with her, cut my teeth, learned about touring, learned about traveling. So it was definitely one of the best experiences of my career. I do remember something from this particular gig. They had put all the artists of this festival in one hotel, and for some reason, they didn't have my room on the booking list, so they had to put me in a room last minute, and it was literally like a closet. It had a bathroom, thankfully, but it was, I don't know what kind of room it was, but it was like the last room available in this hotel, and it was like a closet. It was like a janitor's closet with a bathroom. But whatever, it was fun. I was happy to be there. I was still new at this whole pro touring thing, so I didn't complain. I was just happy to be in Chile and playing for all these people and doing this gig. I think I had a solo in this song. Yeah, there it is. I had a Barry Manilow shirt on. What a great experience. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, click that thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, share it with your friends, family, somebody that has the munchies. We got lots of stuff to eat. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, gear demos, guitar lessons, click that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.